whoever found it turned it in. What would you have done if you'd found it?
I mean, of course, you're gonna want to do right. But this is a dirty old town, man. You could get rid of that shit easy.
On Monday, the 24th of May, £80 million worth of cocaine was washed up on the beaches at St Leonards and New Haven. The packages were attached to life jackets and were found by a passerby who informed the Sussex police. I'm here asking local people what they would have done had they been that passerby.
Okay, so where do we want them? By the boat? By the boat, for sure.
80 million quid's worth of cocaine. Was it that much?
Yeah, it was.
Well, first, I think probably we'd use the life jackets for this boat, as we haven't got any.
What's the 21st of June?
21st of June is when everything opens up. You could be able to give it back to St Leonards and Hastings, and they could have one of the biggest parties of, certainly for a year.
St Leonards, it'll be done in a month.
Out in the open, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good line.
You know, I mean, to start with, how can you comprehend that amount? You know,
80 million.
80 million's worth. You know, and no matter what you do, it's not gonna turn out well, is it? Because that belongs to someone.
Right.
You know.
80 million.
80 million worth of coke. What do you think your mum would think if you...
I wouldn't tell my mum. She'd grass. She'd hand it in. She's got a good conscience.
Look, to be fair, I've got friends that dabble.
Yes.
You know. and
From time to time.
From time to time, and you know, it'll be a gift.
Now, how would you test it?
I've heard people put it up their nose. That's just what I've heard. I've seen a lot of wide-eyed fishermen over there. They've been fishing non-stop.
Would you have told the police about it?
No, pretty much.
What would you have done?
I would have kept it and started a business.
It's a bit like finding treasure, but it ain't so dirty. You know, treasure has got that glitter about it, whereas cocaine has got a loaded... It's loaded.
Yeah.
That can be taken by kids, it'd be sold on the street by kids.
So, my question to you is, the implications of being a black man ringing the police to say there's 80 million worth of drugs on the beach, because in my experience, you would be standing there saying, I'm Mr. X, I've called you about this, but I suspect that you might be handcuffed.
Yeah, I mean, all these things will be going up in my mind before I make any phone calls.
Yeah, because you know the way you're viewed is different from the way somebody else would be viewed.
Yeah, because you almost have to, you've got the stigma around being a black man in society that you have to walk with before you even get to the next step of saying, well, hey, look, this is what I found. And that would be in the back of my mind.
Yeah. So a reaction to it from a person of colour would be more weighted than somebody who was Caucasian, because if they rang the police, they're likely to be believed and no consequences.
And again, also on top of that, it's going to be geography. You know, if I was living in London, would I call the Met Police?
No.
No.
Right.
In Hastings? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are different forces that you feel are untouchable in terms of contacting them if you saw something.
Absolutely. It would make you think twice about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I definitely feel a lot more comfortable with the police in Hastings.
No, I would give it into the police. I would, just because I couldn't live with the fact that I would have that on my shoulder, that burden of having 80 million pounds of cocaine. I think that if I had that, everyone would be on my case. I'd have to worry because there'd be drug lords trying to chase my back, and I wouldn't have a free and safe life.
You might want to take a little bag, wouldn't you? Just as a token, like if you found treasure, you hand it over, but you might keep a little trinket. What would you...
What would I have done?
Yeah.
Well, being a good Christian girl, I couldn't take the sin.
No. Would you walk by?
Well, I'm not a coke taker, because if I was, I would take it.
No, but would you report it or would you walk by?
Well, it's funny because it was in black plastic bags with wrapped in life jackets, and I'm a bit... What with COVID, I might not have even looked at it or touched it. I would have just thought flotsam, jetsam, rubbish. But if there was quite a lot of them, I might have thought, oh, this looks like sunny, and I'm walking the dog, which I don't have, but I might have investigated. But then I might not have. I don't know what I would have done. What would you find most terrifying, the drug lords or the police?
I mean, the drug lords.
Yeah?
You know, the police, they only act in kind of the moral guidelines, but with drug laws, they could do anything to me. However, you could take a tiny bit of it, maybe sell it, you know, make a bit on the side, no one would know. Yeah. It's not going to make a difference. But
so you might just take a little...
Just a little bit, just a slither of it.
Just a taster?
Just enough so someone wouldn't realise at all.
Yeah, where were you on the morning when the cocaine was found?
Unfortunately, I wasn't walking on the beach where I should have been.
Yeah.
But, you know, there you go.
But if you had been walking on the beach,
yeah,
what would you have done?
What would I have done? Oh, I would have put it in a Sainsbury's carrier bag, taken it home.
It's a dirty thing to do.
Because
it's yourself or your family.
It's kind of I mean, I'm not a coke taker, but in my mind, it's always been sort of associated with glamour. Champagne and all the best clubs and all the models.
They don't see the chain of destruction that it's gone through to get to your glamour.
Yeah.
But also, it's if you've got money, you can do it. So it's a social stigma as well. You know, you can afford to take coke, but it's our little secret.
Yeah,
a clique, the cokey cliques.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of subcultures everywhere. Don't have motorways. We haven't got any. It's out of the way, but in exactly the right place. It's a coastliner's paradise.